Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As I have the wrong graphic on the screen, let me switch this to Smackdown. Nick, what's going on?
So it's almost like you're not even trying, man.
No,
I'm
I was
disappointed.
literally trying to do like too many things at one time.
How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a very good Tuesday night. SmackDown Live just wrapped up here about 46 minutes ago, and it was an all right show. And I just want to say, do not let what happened, do not let that be a reason to forget that Brian Kendrick was once a WWE champion.
No, he wasn't.
He was. A fucking graphic came up that said new champion Brian Kendrick. I don't care what you say, goddammit. I don't care what you say.
The champion at the end of the scramble.
He held the belt. Chris McNutt says, I miss you, Nick, from last night. I missed you guys too. I was closing at my job. It was very scary. Michael Martinez is here. Continuing on, we got Mark as well. Super Rainmaker, Y2 Jericho, Henry McKenna. Why do you guys have like 9 names in your name? Just use like your first name. Ralph Lorraine, the man himself, Noah Hall, and many, many, many more. Folks, the SmackDown Live finally wasn't too boring. And I think if you're gonna do a go home show, you're gonna do it like this.
Oh yeah, so the show starts off and AJ Styles opens up. Well, first they recapped everything that went down with Becky Lynch.
Correct.
They recapped Becky getting busted open. They had footage of Nia Jax waffling her, just punching her right in the face.
I guess you could say that she got jacked.
According to Tom Phillips, Becky Lynch, she didn't suffer a broken nose. She suffered a broken face. Exactly what he said. Question. She suffered a broken face.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Has anyone in story ever suffered a broken nose?
John Cena. Well, no. John Cena's was real. You mean like not real?
Did they call it a broken nose?
I believe so, because his nose was like every kinds of crooked you can have.
Okay, that's true. Okay, that's fair.
So they stated that Becky Lynch was not cleared to compete on a Sunday against Ronda Rousey, and a suitable replacement will be named later on in the show.
Plot twist: it's a name that you probably expected and definitely didn't want. Much like Ligma.
So, WWE Champion AJ Styles comes down to the ring, and he talked about being the workhorse of the WWE. He said that he's been there day in and day out. He's defended against every challenger that's come up against him, except for Brock Lesnar. Well, of course, because Brock's never... Well, he did face Brock last year, so whatever. He promised to beat Lesnar this time, and Paul Heyman would appear. Heyman called Raw the premiere show, and the fans booed. Heyman noted that there's nobody Lesnar wants to face more than AJ Styles. Heyman listed the greatest performers in WWE history, including Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and AJ Styles. He said AJ is close to being the number one, but number one is really Daniel Bryan. He said that they'd never see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, and Styles wouldn't be a good consolidation prize. He said that he'd be excited to see Lesnar face the second greatest performer in WWE history, AJ Styles, if that's what they got to do on Sunday. Styles would go on to say that he knew exactly what Heyman was trying to do, get into his head. He said that he respected Daniel Bryan and reminded Heyman that he made Bryan tap out. Last year, Styles lost, he said that last year I lost, but Lesnar walked off limping.
He did. I remember that. Everyone in the world was like, oh, is he legit hurt?
Right. Because Brock usually doesn't sell for things after matches. That was like the first time we really saw it. He did it also before that at 2017's at SummerSlam when they had the big fatal 4-way where he defended the title. He sold after that match as well, but...
Real quick, Chris McNutt with the $5. Tim and Nick, I know y'all said 4 Horsemen versus the 4 Horsewomen won't be happening anytime soon, but they're building up to that match because of Ronda and Charlotte. No, they really just needed a quick replacement.
Exactly, and
she was the best idea. It's real quick. One more. 199 from Luke Might. Did Bryan just turn heel? In theory, yes, he did, because he hit AJ in the dick, and that's a very heel thing to do. So
the thing with the 4 Horsewomen versus the 4 Horsewomen, though, is A, Becky's hurt. We don't know how long she's going to be out of action. B, when would they even do the match? Because Survivor Series would have been the best place to do it. And C, as I'm going to talk about later, Becky and Charlotte are not supposed to be friends or on the same page. So it just can't happen right now. So AJ would go on to state that maybe he's going to make Lesnar tap out if he can't pin him on Sunday, just like he did to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan would then make his way down to the ring and look like a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
He comes down and he admitted, yeah, I tapped out to you, but I told you I respected you and that I also wanted to find a reason to punch you in the face. He said, if you mention my name one more time, I'm going to have to punch you in the face. And AJ goes, whoa, calm down, bro. Heyman brought your name up first, not me. And then the two just start to brawl. Shane McMahon would come down with a bunch of referees and producers to break it up. And that's the last we saw of it for a little bit. Well,
which I feel
till
like
after the commercial.
I personally felt like they should have given the entire second hour to AJ and Bryan.
An hour-long match?
Hour-long match. Hour long.
Yeah, I think that would have worked. At least 45 minutes.
Well, let's continue on here.
So afterwards, in Paige and Shane's office, Daniel Bryan was in there. AJ Styles ran in, tried to confront Daniel yet again. Said that he wants to face Daniel Bryan, even if he has to put the title on the line. And Shane made the match official for tonight. So then we get Jeff Hardy versus Andrade Cien Almas. Zelina Vega is back on the road as she has been cleared to return after suffering a concussion at Evolution.
God, what's going on with him, dude?
Almas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He keeps losing. They like him.
Weird, man.
It's like almost they like feel like he's the guy that you can put anybody with to have a good match, but they're not going to do anything with.
He reminds me of WCW Eddie. Just how smooth he was tonight. Like tonight, he was smooth. Remind me a lot of WCW Eddie.
Yeah, I can see that. So
let's talk about this match.
So Almas had an early advantage, but Hardy ended up fighting back. Almas and Vega did the Tranquilo pose, so Hardy kicked Almas. After a commercial break, Hardy was firmly in control. Hardy went for a whisper in the wind, but Almas trapped him in the Tree of Woe. Almas did a double foot stomp for a close near fall. He followed that up with a double knee in the corner. Hardy.
With that, real quick, with that double stomp, that turnbuckle type stomp, eat your fucking heart out, Alberto Del Rio. Good lord.
Yeah, I think the one he did tonight though was a little. I like the way Alberto usually does it because it looks more devastating. I mean, Almas usually does it well, but for some reason, the way he did it tonight looked very light and ginger-like.
Well, that's again, that move's hard to take seriously when you realize, the other dude's just holding himself up.
True, but not the way Jeff Hardy did it tonight, because they actually took their time to set the move up, where Almas was like holding Hardy up.
Well, yeah,
because Hardy was in that Tree of Woe. He climbed to the top rope and he basically pulled Hardy up and then jumped down. I liked the way he did that, where it's not like when Del Rio used to do it, where I remember there was one time Del Rio had I think it was Sin Cara, like in the ropes between the two turnbuckles, and then he jumps from the top rope onto Sin Cara, and Sin Cara was holding on for at least 45 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, seriously. Let's continue on with the match.
So Hardy hits a twist of fate, or goes for the twist of fate, but almost countered with the back elbow. Almost attempted the hammerlock DDT, but Hardy reversed into a twist of fate. Swanton bomb and pins Andrade Cien Almas.
I just don't like him losing.
Me neither. Backstage, The Miz was watching with Paige and said that he was pretty impressed with Jeff Hardy. Paige would then go on to say that she has basically kicked Daniel Bryan off of the men's team for Smackdown at Survivor Series, and Miz is now the solo sole captain. He would then need to fill Daniel Bryan's slot. With that, he said, you know what? Let's put Jeff Hardy in, and oh yeah, I want to take out Rey Mysterio. Rey's just kind of standing there, not reacting or anything, and Paige goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. He goes, that was a Daniel Bryan move. I'm the captain now. We need to start over with all my picks. And Paige goes, yeah, but I'm still the GM, and I have final say. So if you really think that Rey doesn't deserve to be on this team, face him next. And if you can beat him, you can kick him off the team. So the two had a really good match.
They just have, and we said this last week, they just have a great chemistry together.
Yeah. So before the match, go for it. Go.
It's just great. And I really, really, really enjoy the work they do together.
So before the match takes place, Dasha Fuentes interviews Nakamura backstage. Nakamura talked about Seth Rollins, my bad, not really caring about this match at Survivor Series, underestimating him. Nakamura said that he was heartbroken watching Smackdown last night and watching the replays on his phone, thinking that Seth Rollins is just going to think that this match is a nothing match for him. He said he's heartbroken, and come Survivor Series this Sunday, he's going to break Rollins' face.
I can't believe anything that he says anymore. Like, his promos have gotten so lame to me, strictly because he says that he'll have a good match, and then you won't see him for like 2 weeks, and then it's like
the way the segment even started was bad because Dasha goes, "I'm here with WWE United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura," and the camera kind of pans over and there's nobody there, and she's just like, Shinsuke Nakamura," and then he finally walks in the frame with headphones on, like, "Oh, we went live? My bad."
I don't know.
So we then get Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. Mysterio was in control early until The Miz clotheslined him. Miz would then slow the pace down, but Mysterio fought back. Mysterio sent Miz to the floor with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, and Rey would follow that up with his, I guess, I don't know what to call it. I guess it's like when you slide on a darn slip and slide. The slip and slide to the outside. Which
it's just a head first slide.
Yeah, I almost don't like this because it's like you've got to really trust that your opponent has got themselves in the right position, or you're gonna just crash on the floor.
Oh, I'm sure there's a marker on the floor. I'm sure there's a marker.
I mean, Miz has done this match with Rey like 4 times since Rey's been back, so he knows exactly how to take this move.
Exactly. Like I'm sure there's a little like, make sure you're kind of right on the red dot, and we'll be fine.
Mysterio hit a seated senton and followed that up with a kick to the head for a near fall. He would then miss a crossbody, and Miz hit a DDT for 2. Miz attempted the skull-crushing finale, but Mysterio reversed it into a 619. Rey would then go for a splash, but Miz got his knees up and rolled through just like he did at Crown Jewel, but this time, Rey kicked out.
Yep.
Miz was shocked. Mysterio did not get pinned. He would go for the frog splash.
Frog.
I like him using the frog splash as a finisher, and he would. That's what the splash was. He went for the frog splash. Miz rolled it, kicked out, rolled up Miz, boom, pinned the Miz, stays on SmackDown's team. A little jumbled up there, and then after the match, old Randy Orton would slither down, looking like he wanted to attack Rey. Rey got out of the ring, so he said screw it, and he hits Miz with the RKO instead.
Yeah.
So in the back, they showed extra security just in case Raw would show up, which never happened.
Which Heyman already did, so they're a little late, but okay.
Well, you gotta remember, Heyman came through the crowd over at the Timekeepers area.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, is Heyman really a threat?
Hey, I just want to let you know real quick that I have it pulled up here in case you got to do something. Just letting you know.
We're good.
Cool. Sounds good.
Paige was then in the ring. Invited the entire roster, the women's roster, to come down. She said that unfortunately, Becky Lynch will not be able to take on Ronda Rousey this Sunday, and she was allowing Lynch to pick her replacement. So Becky would come down to the ring and state, I may have suffered a concussion, but that's not going to stop me. It shouldn't stop me. I want to still face Ronda Rousey on Sunday, but the medical team won't allow it. She says she's been knocking on every single door all day, all night, trying to get herself cleared, and no one's going to clear her for Sunday, so now she needs to pick a suitable replacement. She starts looking at all the women on the roster standing there in the ring. She looks at Sonya Deville. She looks at Charlotte Flair. She looks at Naomi, and Naomi's like, come on, I can do it. Pick me, pick me. She looks at Asuka, and Asuka's doing the same thing. I want to take on Ronda Rousey. Let me face Ronda Rousey. She looks at Mandy Rose, and she walks back over to Charlotte Flair. She gets on the mic and tells Charlotte, you tap her out like I was going to plan on tapping her out this Sunday.
I like it.
And then these two, I didn't like this. I liked that, where she's like, you're the only one that I can trust with this. I know you can do what I was planning on doing. Make me proud. But at the same time, it's like, you hate this woman. You're supposed to hate Charlotte Flair. And what happens? They hug. They hugged it out in the middle of the ring. Like, what?
I think that was kind of a symbol of like, this feud is over. It's really hard to have those two go up against each other when their chemistry, when their faces together, or when their team together is natural, is very good. So I think it's easy to be like, they ended that perfectly. That feud with that last match, excellent. Move on from there.
I don't like that. They're supposed to hate each other, especially coming off that last match where they teased a TLC match at TLC.
I think the teasing of that was just looked in a little too deep. You know what I mean? Like, we want it. But,
I don't know. I just think so much stuff changed in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well, is you don't know when Becky's going to be back, how this is going to naturally happen. Let's just have them befriend each other again.
Because
and
go.
I was also going to say, I'm glad that they went with Charlotte. Yeah. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Charlotte, unfortunately. I'm just not. But like Asuka, that's a Mania match. Naomi, that could be an all right match.
Wait.
I'm telling you this right now.
Uh-huh.
Becky and Ronda, they will face at Mania.
Possible.
Charlotte and Ronda will be the first ever main event women's match. They will main event Mania one year, and it's going to be them too. I promise you that.
Now here's the issue with Asuka and Ronda Rousey. Could be a great match, but because Ronda is still that unexperienced, she needs somebody that she can easily talk to during the match, that can kind of help her along, per se. And that language barrier between Asuka and her English may not suit well when Ronda's like, because we've seen on Raw, there was a 6-woman tag team match where Ronda got in the ring and was just like confused and lost.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
I get what you mean.
They go backstage after a commercial break, and Charlotte's interviewed, and they say, what do you think about taking on Ronda Rousey? And Charlotte goes, I've fought half of my career facing off against Becky Lynch. Really? Half of your career against Becky?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How?
Tim, I don't know logistics. She's faced her a lot, all right? Jesus Christ.
In the last 3 months. Before that, they were best friends. They kind of faced off a little bit in NXT because they did a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship, and Becky was quote-unquote supposed to be heel with Sasha for a little bit. But other than that, 3/4 of her career was BFFs with Becky. Anyways.
You know what I think our issue is?
Huh.
I think we just look way too into everything.
Probably.
Because we want to make something out of nothing because we want it to happen, but it's just not.
So Charlotte would close out. She would close out this backstage promo by stating that last night she fought alongside Becky Lynch, and this Sunday she will be fighting for Becky Lynch and promised to defeat Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. Now I know we haven't done our predictions yet, but you think Ronda wins? I do. It's a tough one.
Yeah, Ronda can win that. Yeah.
Going forward, we then get the New Day versus The Bar and The Big Show.
Ooh, shit. You know what?
What?
Steve Emblem says they fought alongside each other last night.
Right?
That just clicked with me.
And?
They're supposed to hate each other. Why were they teaming up with each other like that?
Huh?
if Becky and Charlotte were supposed to hate each other, why did they team up with each other like that?
That's
You know,
I
what I
kind
mean?
of
Like,
explained this last
it's
night.
bleeding. It's bleeding the lines. $2 from Chris McNutt.
Right.
Daniel Bryan looks like Jesus Christ.
I said that last time his hair was this long. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Kristen. That was the most worthful $2 I've ever gotten. I love you, Kristen.
No,
I want to say right now,
Go.
this New Day bar match, my God, the New Day was just so slick. This made me want 6-man titles just of how smooth they were with just that one scene. I love it. I loved it.
So the New Day, firmly in control early. Xavier Woods and Big E hit a leg drop splash combo for a near fall. Heels took over and isolated Woods in their corner. Kofi Kingston got the hot tag and ran wild. Sheamus gave Big E the bro kick on the apron. Kingston then hit the SOS on Cesaro for a near fall. Kingston attempted a crossbody, but Big Show nailed him with a knockout punch for the victory. They then talked about how the Bar will be taking on AOP this Sunday. Now, they stated, they've got they call him the mastermind, Drake Maverick, in AOP's corner. And I think it was Corey goes, yeah, Drake Maverick could be a wild card, but when you've got the Big Show in your corner, that's a bigger wild card.
Yeah.
So,
it's very, very true.
With that, we then go backstage. We see a bunch of tag teams. We see the Colognes. We see Sanity. We see Gallows and Anderson. And then the New Day walk in. Or no, Usos, my bad. Usos say that they've all fought against each other in the past, but this Sunday, they're all going to fight alongside each other for Smackdown and the brand supremacy, as they're all been chosen for the Smackdown Live 20-man elimination match.
Hate it. Stupid.
And I believe that's on the pre-show.
Hate it. Stupid.
We did it 2 years ago.
Yep, still hate it. It's still stupid.
So then, main event time. So we got Daniel Bryan.
Really good match.
Oh, great match. Daniel
Only
Bryan.
thing about it was just lukewarm crowd and no.
This crowd got into the match.
Just the commercial breaks also kind of killed it for me.
So the commentators reiterated that Paul Heyman caused the tension between Styles and Bryan. Styles backed Bryan into the corner, but Bryan fired back. Bryan charged at Styles, but got backdropped onto the floor. Styles followed with a plancha. After a commercial break, Bryan rocked Styles with a kick in the corner. Styles regained control by attacking Bryan's knee. Bryan fought back and worked over Styles' arm. They traded shots in the middle of the ring for a little bit before Bryan ran up the corner and landed on his injured knee. Styles and Bryan collided in the middle of the ring with double crossbodies. Great spot. Bryan hit the running dropkick in the corner. He followed that up with a Hurricane Rana from the top rope for a near fall. Bryan went up top, but Styles cut him off with a Pele kick. Bryan then slipped out and Bryan slipped off and was caught by Styles in the Tree of Woe.
There you go. That's how you form a sentence.
And he nailed Styles with kicks. There we go.
Yep, there you go.
Bryan gave Styles a huge backdrop off the top rope for a close near fall. Bryan then hit the yes kicks, but Styles ducked one of them, causing an attempted Styles clash, but Bryan fought out of the move. Styles fought back and went for the springboard 450. Bryan got his knees up and applied the yes lock. Styles looked like he was about to tap. He went, I think this is what happened. So his hand comes down and goes,
Jesus
hits the mat.
Christ.
Comes down and hits the mat. I'm like, is he tapping? But I think what happened was he couldn't really see. His depth perception was off a little because Bryan's, the way he had the yes lock on, and he was trying to grab for the ropes and didn't fully extend his arm out or something. So he finally gets his arm out there, grabs the ropes, breaks it. It was weird because it looked like he was about to tap.
It's like he saw a bug and just started slamming.
Exactly, because it was only one swat. It wasn't like multiples, or you know how you see sometimes where they put their arm up and they shake their arm all the way down, but then right before it hits the mat, it comes back up.
Yeah.
This was just like you said. Oh, cockroach, boom, I got it.
There you go. So
he broke the hold. Bryan went for the running knees, but Styles hit him with the drop kick. Styles then locked on the calf crusher, and Bryan countered into the armbar, which is the yes lock. Bryan applied the yes lock, but Styles broke free. Styles would then go for the phenomenal forearm. As he's coming off the top rope, Bryan would sidestep, and AJ Styles would collide with referee. Charles Robinson was referee. Collide with Charles Robinson. Bryan would then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, look at AJ and just hit him right in the balls. Low blow, Nakamura. Nakamura Styles with his arm.
Gave him the old fucking Sebastian Janikowski 400-yard field goal kick to the testicles, sent it right back up his stomach. Good Lord.
Do you know the name of the Texas Longhorns kicker?
I don't, but Kristen McNuts is $2 a yoke on the Survivor Series. I am
Negative.
not.
So,
what's his name?
His last name is Dicker. They call him Dicker the Kicker.
Good.
AJ Styles, just basically, Daniel Bryan pulled a Dicker the Kicker. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so as AJ is down, referee's down, did not see this. Bryan goes to the corner. He's kind of like got this crazy look on his face, like, what did I just do? But then at the same time, oh yeah, I'm taking advantage. Wait, what did I just do? It's like bipolar disorder or something. It's a two-face. So yeah. AJ gets up, and Bryan runs at him with a running knee. Referee finally gets consciousness. Bryan pins him. 1, 2, 3. New WWE champion.
Interesting.
But it's not done there. With AJ Styles down on the mat, Bryan would then go over and stand over him. Grab the arms of AJ Styles, pull his arms up, and then just start kicking AJ's face down into the mat. Over and over. And the crowd's booing the hell out of Daniel Bryan. Booing and booing. Daniel finally gets out of the ring. As he's walking up the ramp, he's looking at the fans at ringside, looking at the fans up along the ramp. They're all giving him the thumbs down as they boo. Daniel Bryan walks off the new WWE champion, now facing Brock Lesnar this Sunday at Survivor Series. Whew, what a turn of events this last 24 hours was.
Oh, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I've been Nick. Follow me on Twitter at PWU_Armstrong. Follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited, Facebook/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Right here on the YouTube, check out our friends over at Fightful, Fightful.com, Fightful Online on Twitter. Folks, we're going to be live tomorrow talking a little bit about... I think tomorrow I'm mainly going to be talking about Survivor Series and then giving our Survivor Series predictions.
We got Survivor Series TakeOver this weekend. Plus...
Survivor Series and TakeOver.
Plus, Nick's going to a special NXT show on Thursday.
Yeah, and I gotta send Nicholas all the shit.
Hopefully, they eventually announce who's going to be at that NXT show.
It'd be nice. It would be very, very nice. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me basically everywhere at Timmy Buddy. Also on tomorrow night's show, we're going to talk about some new cool things coming to our TeePublic merch store.
Yes, we're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So we'll
Folks,
see you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, go.
We're going to see you guys tomorrow. I love all of you. Nicole, Paula. So, Nicole, I just move when I talk. I go from right here on the mic. Oh, baby, now we're cooking all the way over here. So if my audio ever just sounds like ass, that's why. But thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Becky Lynch, if you're listening to this, you are the only person that I know that can have a black eye and I'd still be in love with. I'll talk to you guys later.
Good night, guys.